Hi everybody, this is Katie with Limitless You Health Coaching. Today I want to talk about some breakfast ideas that are really quick to make. You can make them on the weekend and make a big batch of them. So during the week, if you're traveling, if you have kids, if you're running out the door, you don't have to worry about making breakfast. You can pull these items out of the freezer or out of the fridge, nuke them really quick, throw them in the oven, the toaster oven, and just heat them up. This is something that I hear from my clients all the time, and it's even something I experience, just running out the door in the morning but wanting to have a really nice breakfast. So we're going to do two things. The first one is protein pancakes. These are my favorite. These are a weekend favorite in this household, but mostly because you can have a huge batch of them and then freeze them. And these are really easy if you have a toaster oven to just throw them in there. Otherwise, I put them in the microwave. What you need for protein pancakes is protein, of course. I use this ISO 100. I think it's a really decent brand. This is a chocolate flavor. They also have, I've tried their vanilla flavor as well. So you can get this on Amazon if you'd like. Otherwise, any type of protein powder you have is fine. Just double check when you're reading the label. Make sure that the protein powder amount is in the double digits. So it should be at least, I'm thinking 20 or higher. And then make sure that the sugar is in the single digits. So 9 or less. If you have a protein powder that's mostly sugar, it's not really a protein powder, okay? So the front may say protein, but you need to check the nutrition to make sure there's actually protein in here. So you need protein powder. You're going to need 3 eggs. I have organic eggs from Kowalski's. I try to buy all of my meat organic when I can. I'm not interested in getting weird hormones from these animals. You will also need a half cup of oats. Please try to get plain oats. If you're buying Quaker oats, cinnamon, maple, apple, strudel, that's just a ton of added sugar that you don't need. So just get plain oats, and then we keep them in these mason jars, so you need a half cup of that. Greek yogurt, this is going to give it some liquid. You can do Greek yogurt or almond milk or coconut milk if you'd like. Or if you can't have dairy, just use water and then add a little bit of baking soda to your pancakes. I use the Fage 0%. You need a quarter cup. Some cooking spray, some cinnamon, and then sometimes for this ingredient or this recipe, we like to put bananas in there. It just kind of depends on what type of macros you have. You don't want to get too carb heavy on this. I lost my blender. Oh, there it is. Okay, so you're going to mix all of these ingredients up, and then you're going to cook these in a huge batch. So let's see how that turns out. You'll have to excuse this terrible lighting. I'm not a professional. I'm just in my kitchen. So I have a skillet here, and I have some coconut oil spray. I always use coconut oil because, well, one, it comes in a spray form, which I really like. But coconut oil actually has some nutritional benefits to it. It has some healthy monosaturated fats. So you're actually getting more bang for your buck when you're using a coconut oil. Now I blended all of our ingredients together. And if you over blend it, it becomes really soupy. So I ended up adding a quarter cup more oats, and then I did throw a banana in here. If you want to thicken it up, you can always put in some almond milk, or almond butter or peanut butter. And also remember, you can throw blueberries into this, chocolate chips, coconut, whatever you want to make it really fun. But just know that very similar to a lot of other healthy alternatives. The texture might be a little weird. These are a little bit soupier, so just keep that in mind. So wait for your pan to get nice and hot. I don't know if I've waited that long. I'm really impatient. I'm the person who keeps flipping the pancakes, even though they're not bubbly yet, because I just want them to be done. And then you're just going to go ahead and pour these out like you would a normal pancake. Yeah, these are kind of wet, kind of soupy. And protein pancakes aren't, depending on, your recipe, they're not going to be the fluffiest thing ever. These tend to be a little bit thinner and more crepe-like, unless you end up adding some baking soda or something like that. So just get these on here, and we'll let them hang out for a little bit and wait for them to cook through. Okay, so they're working and they flipped. We had one casualty. That's just because I'm not a good cook and I'm really impatient. But they look pretty good, right? And you'll notice that these two recipes are very protein-based. And I think it's so important to have protein in the morning. First of all, it's going to keep you full. It's going to curb cravings, because maybe you've noticed that if for breakfast, if you have like a pastry or a muffin and coffee, you're hungry again in like 30 minutes. And I guarantee you're going to have some cravings later in the afternoon. So this is going to give you lots of energy, keep you full all day long. Plus, having protein in the morning makes you feel good, makes you feel strong, makes you feel like you can tackle the day. So there's a lot of commercials out there that say, have this sugary cereal because it's going to make you feel like you can tackle the day, when really it's just going to lead to cravings later. So I always recommend that you get at least one serving of protein in the morning. So I'm just going to touch these. They look like they're doing okay. As I said, you can throw in some blueberries. Oh, look on this sad one right here, I can still see some of the oats, which is good. I think that's really nice when you're eating your food and you can still see the ingredients. There are packages at the store that are protein pancakes. That's great. That's really convenient, but I always think there's something special about eating your food and knowing that you know exactly where every ingredient is coming from, besides that protein powder, but you know where the ingredients are coming from and you can see them when you're eating them. Top these with some butter or some ghee. If you're going to do butter, do a grass-fed butter. Otherwise, ghee is a clarified butter. So for those of you, again, who can't really have dairy, that's a good option for you. Or if you feel like splurging a little bit, how about some syrup? Why not, right? Or spread some almond butter or peanut butter. But what I'll do with these once they're cooked is I will layer them in wax paper. If you put these one on top of another, they're going to stick. So wax paper, pancake, wax paper, pancake, and then throw them in the fridge or throw them in the freezer, and you're good for the week. Okay, so now that those pancakes are in my stomach and also in the freezer, we're gonna make some breakfast burritos. Again, really easy. Make it on a Saturday or Sunday and enjoy it, but make extra servings so then you can just have these hanging out in your freezer. So again, we're gonna need eggs and egg whites. If you just have egg whites or just have eggs, that's fine. You want some black beans. What I've already done is I have drained this and then rinsed them. Anytime you're using beans out of a can, make sure you're rinsing them because a lot of these are being leached with BPA chemicals. So rinse those, just throw them in a colander, throw some water on them. I found this cheese in our fridge. It's like a Mexican taco blend, so you'll want some sort of cheese if you'd like. If not, that's okay. And then tortillas. I chose flour tortillas, but you can do corn tortillas, spinach tortillas, spelt tortillas, gluten-free tortillas, whatever works for you. And then a little bit of salsa. And then I have that skillet going that we were just doing those pancakes on. I have it just hanging out. So I'm just going to do some measuring here. Whoops. Again, the lighting. So sorry, but I don't have a crew or anything. It's just me. Just me in my kitchen. So here's the view of my torso. All right, so I'm using a food scale, and I'm using this cup because I hate doing dishes to measure out 2 egg whites, which is about 92 grams. That's exactly how many egg whites I had on my bikini prep, so I'm an expert on getting that number. And then we're gonna add 2 eggs to this. Not so much of an expert on this. Oops. Come on. And really, all you're going to do is just make scrambled eggs with all of these different ingredients. I had a fork. Hold on. If I was my fork, found it. And then just mix these up. Get rid of the scale. The food scale for me is a lifesaver. It's good if, for instance, if the cheese says, 1 serving is a 1/4 cup. It'll also tell you that it is 28 grams. So instead of getting your measuring cup dirty, you could just measure out 28 grams of cheese. And I'm just using the same skillet for the pancakes, so there's still pancake crap on it. Sorry. All right, so we're gonna get these eggs all mixed up. And the other thing I was just thinking about is you could take these tortillas if you wanted to and throw them under the broiler or throw them in the oven for a little bit. This is what my mom used to do when we used to have tacos. Or just microwave them to soften them up. So I'll probably end up doing that as well. So we have our eggs scrambled in the cup. Now we just have to get them on the skillet and get them going. Sorry guys, I went to go edit my video and the last chunk of it is missing. It's completely disappeared. I'm not that tech savvy. I don't know where it went. So basically what I did is I scrambled up those eggs, put the black beans on top, got those going, scrambled those together so that the black beans were heated all the way through. Then I took the tortillas and I put a damp paper towel on a couple of them and microwaved them for 15 seconds, and then put the tortillas right on the skillet so they were nice and soft. And then I just took some cheese, put that on top of the scrambled eggs, took some salsa and spread it on the tortilla, and then I just put the egg mixture on top and I rolled it up. And so I only ended up using about a quarter of that can of beans. So you could have made, I think, well, that I got 2 out of that serving. So, 4, 5, 6 burritos. And then with my extra burrito, I just rolled it up in the extra tortilla and then rolled it in foil and just stuck it in the fridge. So double the recipe to get more servings, but really sorry that I somehow lost that. Another idea I had while I was making that video was you could take the tortilla, put cheese on it, and put it under the broiler and melt it, sort of like a quesadilla, and then when you pull it out, then put the egg mixture on top and roll it up so you get like an even layer of cheese. So that's how that ended. So sorry that you don't actually have the actual footage. I'm going to put the recipes for both of these meals down below. Please give this video a thumbs up and let me know what else you want to see. Share it with other people so I can keep making some great content for you guys. Thanks!